Rent and Attire was a conversation which happened over a cup of tea in my office cafeteria. Now, out of those 8 people, somebody who picked it up is the one who has made the difference. And that is what I always talk about. Talking is not going to help, taking that action is always going to help.
Today we have Lavina with us, who is the proud founder of Rent and Attire, an on-demand platform for men and women to rent Indian as well as Western occasion wear. She's also someone who comes with 18 plus years of IT HR operations experience and is extremely passionate about making sure that our ecosystem is more diverse. So Lavina, thank you for taking out the time today.
Thank you so much for the invite, Diksha. It is always lovely to get in touch with you and talk to you.
So walk me through some of the challenges or the roadblocks that you faced while you were setting up Rent and Attire.
First challenge which we faced was renting has been there for ages. However, the segment is very, very unorganized. You have things in bits and pieces. So what we wanted to do was to make it more organized. And to do so, we had to build the system from scratch. So designing that entire framework, entire IT infrastructure, entire, systems, the modules, the processes, the procedures, the policies, everything was very, very important. And since the business deals with, it's a business, however, it also deals with emotions. Since we cater to wedding clients, it was very, very important for us to have all the information at the right place and given at the right time. So that was the biggest challenge which we face, where designing the framework on how the renting overall process would be, right from offline way to online way. Since we are a hybrid model, we have stores as well, we also rent it out via our website and app. So all three aspects have to touch upon in a way that everything should be catered to and every information should be given to people. Now if today we walk to any of the retail store, we always know what is the terms and conditions like and other things, but for renting people weren't aware. So our first challenge was to make them aware of how it works, what happens if you do this, when can you return, very basic nitty-gritties. We had to set it up from zero.
I think seamlessness and detail in operations is clearly one of your strong points, and it's so very well reflected in Rent and Attire. Lavina, while people were creating brands or marketplaces, why did you choose to pick up on the aspect of renting and create that into a business model?
I realized there's a huge gap in the fashion industry. Not only it is extremely fragmented in terms of the price, in terms of the designs, it is also very, very the designer label was far beyond people's reach in terms of the pricing. That's where I felt that the common man or the working class who would definitely want to try out new outfit. Now since we are in an era where we are very open to change, we like new things every day, how can that class afford these fancy outfits, the designer labels? And that's where I thought, why don't I work on bridging that gap? And that's how the idea of Rent and Attire started, where I also did a little market survey within my family, friends and network to understand whether this is something which they would go for. And to my surprise, 99% were yes. That 1% which was no was a little hesitant on the hygiene part of it, which we took care along with setting up the business. So that's how Rent and Attire kind of was born.
Lavina, I'm sure because you work on a renting model, just the way that the cash flows and the finances work will also be slightly different. What is it that you expect to evolve or change from a banking ecosystem point of view?
When I started Rent and Attire, things were way different in terms of banking, in terms of even if you want to loan, it would take a longer process. If you have to explain, you're a woman entrepreneur and the kind of documents asked for, other things were very very difficult back then. What I feel is, if there'll be more flexibility in terms of the capital needs which we need, as and when needed, not definitely with a tenure part of it, but as and when we need, and there as and when we can give back. So that would give that flexibility and comfort to me as a businesswoman, that okay, I needed capital and I've raised it from bank, and whenever I feel comfortable giving it back, I should be able to do that. That part is something which I definitely feel can be worked upon.
Have you seen any changes in the ecosystem with regards to women business owners?
There's a 365-degree change in terms of how women have started taking business so seriously now. I see all the women getting more formal with the way businesses are planned. Women have been in business, but somewhere or the other it was not as formalized as we've seen men running the business. In the way they have formalized everything, they have put things in place, right from the finances to raising capitals to actually revenue generation. They're actually on top of things now. So there is huge difference, and I see this only growing. There's no coming back here.
Anything that you've seen changed in the ecosystem, in terms of support for women founders out there that you want to highlight?
So the idea itself of now women coming up in front and talking about that we want to start a business, where it was not there in the past, and that has happened because there's a lot of awareness happening, through platforms. Definitely a platform like Incubate as well, which is helping a lot of women entrepreneurs. I've been part of multiple such platforms, which is helping women entrepreneurs to come up front and talk about their issues, talk about their challenges, and how can we help them to overcome those challenges. That is definitely helping. Now, few of the women may not need support, but we know that 60% of women would definitely look for some kind of support, at least to take that first step. So that part has definitely changed.
We've seen a complete shift from offline to online virtual work environments. How has that affected the work at Rent and Attire? Do you think it's been a bane or a boon?
Thankfully, we were a hybrid model from the start, so we didn't see a lot of difference in terms of how things change. We have had teams working from different locations, so we were already working via different platforms. So we didn't see much of a difference in terms of how to get working. However, I definitely feel that technology is the future. So the faster we get into the online mode, we will definitely going to reach out more people. So if you start doing this online, sometimes you touch upon the target audience which you have not even maybe target. That's the beauty of being online.
So I think virtual online hybrid models are the way to go, and I know that you're kind of pioneering those efforts with Rent and Attire. Lavina, you've got a lot of insights, and you're actually one of those category creators, if I might say. So share with us what your business mantra, or what's the thing that kind of keeps you ticking.
Innovate, don't stand. Taking that first step to do anything is always going to make a big difference. So the moment you feel there's definitely a stagnancy in whatever we do, and that is where we as business leaders come into picture and come up with something else, some new innovation. So creativity, innovation is something which has to be there all the time. So as a business leader, I know that I need to be very very open to change. I need to know what is happening in the industry. If I am not aware, how am I going to make my team aware of those things? So that is why innovation is the key to success.